All right, is this thing going? Let's go live. Camera 1 is working. Camera 2 is working. Good. So, hey, this is Dave. I can't tell if there's any sound coming out. Let me make sure you guys are going to just assume that it is. But this is What's Up, Dave. This is my stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet, talk about some of the stuff I'm working on. Topics generally cover self-empowerment, creativity, productivity, specifically in, I guess, more technical things. Computer graphics, graphic design, programming, making products. The idea is really just to be a more, I guess, creatively productive person. The kind of productivity I'm interested in is the kind where you're doing things and making stuff that you can show to people and share with them. And so that's what makes me happy. And the reason why I'm doing this reboot week is because I've been feeling kind of unhappy about my progress in these areas. And I have a theory. The theory is that I'm stuck on too many open projects, so I'm actively trying to close things down. So this is the week that I've put aside to not schedule, not make tasks, not make lists, just kind of keep plugging away at a few core things as I'm working everything out, and I'm working them out in these What's Up Dave streamcasts for this week. So it's day 3, and so let's see where I left off on this. I guess I don't need this anymore. We seem to be about having audio. One quick show and tell thing is I had mentioned before that I had gotten this chamber vacuum sealer, and so we can look at this thing if just before I get to the other stuff. I don't know if it looks like this is not. It should be going to the loopback, but I don't see it happening.
Set the default max forward and press start.
So you put a piece of chicken in. Do we miss it? And it takes about a minute to seal. I'll just skip ahead. You can hear the sounds change a little bit. So after it's done, it's the 4-second seal. It uses a thermal bar here. It releases the pressure. And then on the inside... Oh, it beeps. Oh, the cat's here. Boink, boink, boink. It's getting dark. Sealed chicken. So that's what I guess that's the major toy. So this opens up a lot of things like sous vide, storing leftovers, buying meat in bulk and individually freezing them in a more convenient form than the freezer paper and freezer bags I've been using. And I am pretty excited about it. I've been cooking a lot more because I've been on this diet. I'm down about 11 pounds since starting 3 weeks ago. This is like the week, is this the 3rd week? Or this is the 4th week. So the weight loss has dropped off a little bit. Anyway, let's take a look at what I was doing before, which is this reboot thing. Because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time doing this today. I actually want to try to get some work. Today has been a day where I have had a lot of, I guess, unexpected interruptions. Like this cat. There's some team project related communication and a surprise conference call to try to fix some issue that the researchers are having with testing some of the software. We got that resolved, but it kind of threw me off my day. I originally was going to schedule this stream for 2 p.m. It's like 6:30, almost 6:30 now. So my momentum has kind of been lost. So what I'm hoping to do after this is head over to Starbucks or someplace outside the house and just to work someplace else, specifically on this project. So this work project, that is. So yesterday I had clarified 4 meta principles One of them is the closing of closing projects and kind of closing chapters of my life right now. There's too many things going on that haven't been resolved, and this is creating in me a long-standing feeling of nothing is getting done. And the reason why that is because I'm letting these things linger. So the main one is to finish this video server work, which is the paid work, so I can move on to other things. It's been like, it wasn't work that I wanted to do in the first place, but there's no one else available to do it, and it's necessary. So, it involved like digging into 3 unfamiliar systems, trying to get a relatively simple idea working, but stitching it together between these 3 different systems, which I have not authored and I'm not familiar with, using a few different technologies that I am not familiar with, and making something work in a development environment that's not ideal. I guess it's real work. Maybe this is what it is. I don't want to do real work. I just want to do fun work. But it's been educational. But I think closing it off will be good for me. And the 3 other meta principles, as I had mentioned, are the embracing self-leadership, which is accepting isolation in my command decisions, keeping an eye out for future collaborators. The idea is that while I wish I had collaborators to work with now, I am unlikely to find them. And so I've been kind of on hold, really investing in my own work, like my other project work. That for me, I've been holding off investing in that wholeheartedly because I didn't want to do it by myself. But I think the reality is that I'm going to have to do it by myself. There's no choice. Waiting for someone to come along is madness. The second one is like just declaring confidence in myself. Like, there's no reason. What I'm just saying is there's no reason to second guess myself. I may not have all the answers, but I have a pretty good process. And likewise, I don't need permission from other people to do this. The reasons that I'm doing these things are my own, and I can think them through, and I know what the benefits and trade-offs are in pursuing these. So why listen to other people who don't necessarily have my personal interests in mind, don't have aligned interests, and don't have any investment in what I'm doing anyway? I mean, I can take advice from people who have gone through similar things, or accept the support of friends. But again, like making myself dependent on that before I move forward, or using that desire for affirmation as a reason not to try or start, or to be afraid of it, these are not good things. So these 3 meta principles are things I'm having on my mind right now. The specifics are some of the suspended habits. Right now I am maintaining the diet, which is the Atkins induction phase, although I'm doing it for more than 2 weeks. As I'm dialing in the amounts of food and the carbs that I should eat every day, I think it will start to pay off, with more rapid weight loss. I've suspended my gym habit for this week. I'd been doing it for about 6 or 7 weeks. Cardiovascular endurance has improved if weight has not dropped. Endurance, though, that is a good improvement. Daily household chore improvements and daily office improvements, those are no longer scheduled right now. Everything else is just doctor's appointments, basically. And this week I don't have any, but next week there's like 3 or 4 of them. Is it dead? No, it's like I'm seeing a skincare expert because I want to find out what these bumps on my forehead are. Something to worry about. I think they're just some sort of wart. Then there is an eye doctor appointment, and I had to schedule an appointment for a cat over here for the vet. There's something else I'm forgetting though. Yeah, so those kind of appointments are next week. There's enough of them that's going to be disruptive. There is a new task on my list too that my dad has asked if he could come visit this fall from Taiwan. So visit in the fall. By dad, that means there's like a whole bunch of household changes I need to do to allow that to happen smoothly and have enough room for everyone, the extended family, to stay while he's visiting. So, moving on to day 3. Day 3 is, I had written a note. There's general operating reality here. In addition to the principles I was talking about before, one thing I'm compelled to do every day is share and communicate in depth with people. And this is something that's not a task. This is not something that I'm assigning time to. It's just something that I do. It's part of who I am. And I can do this mindfully, and I don't have to feel guilty about it. And I think that's an important realization to make as I discern moving forward what is going to work well for me to maintain a kind of creative productivity. And I mentioned today's been kind of an off day. It's like 6:34 now. So what am I gonna write about now? I kind of want to come to some sort of new conclusion for today that eventually turns into an action list by the end of this week, so I have something to start on Monday. And what is that? Well, some things that are bothering me. I'm feeling unsettled. I'm not getting rest. I'm not sleeping well, which might be related. Or it could just be I'm bored because I feel trapped by this other project. By the tedious video project. What else is bothering me? I'm still feeling like I'm behind on everything. I'm also feeling isolated. Although that's sort of by design. I'm feeling unable to express and communicate efficiently through a web platform. So those are the things that are bothering me right now. Number 5 is something I'm going to address by working on the new website, but that's not a priority until after I get the video server done. Once the video server stuff is done, and then I will feel a great weight lifted from me. So when I finish the video server, a great weight will be lifted. And this has to happen by the end of September. Let's say it happens by the end of next week. So we have time to test this before October rolls around. So is there really anything more to do than this? Maybe I'm just going on it now. But let's look into the future. Looking into the future. Looking into the future, what do I want? Let me switch to this camera, just think out loud. When I'm saying looking into the future, I'm talking about having a creatively productive routine. Right now I've suspended all routines because I am reevaluating what's important to me and addressing the immediate feel bad things, which is this lingering feeling that like nothing is getting done. Once one of these things gets done and I start knocking out the other things, I think the feeling will go away. I'm pretty sure it will. And so what to maintain? How do I maintain that? I should add to my list of things. Let me go back here. Number 6. I said number 6. I'm feeling a huge lack of energy. Lethargy. Not inspired. And this could be this could very well be related to the feeling that there's all the stuff I have to do, and I'm bored by it. It's an interesting problem in a technical sense, that there's a lot of things to figure out, a lot of details. It's a really boring project because it shouldn't be this difficult. What's a more interesting project is how to rewrite the code base so such things become easy, but that's a down the line thing. So looking in the future, I guess let me say what I want. I want to be excited about the projects I'm working on. I want to feel like I'm making progress on them. I want people to see what I'm working on and start conversations around them. I want to feel that money is coming in, is going to continue coming in. I want to feel I'm doing the investment, I'm investing time and resources into learning stuff that will pay off. Future tech skills, art skills, knowledge consolidation and repackaging. And so none of this says anything about being on time. Think about the following. I don't want to always be on time unless I've made a promise. All my promises tend to be sacred promises, or they should be. I don't want to spend all my time working on billable or revenue generating projects. But I do want a way of harnessing those efforts into something that can be sold. So easily sold or shared. For other entrepreneurs, to other entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial creatives. I don't want to have to do anything, but I want to feel motivated to do, explore, and learn stuff. And so this is all talking about like a way to harness this thinking. Daily random walks, experiments. I don't want to have to remember a lot of things, because my memory is terrible. So, right, so these are some things I want and don't want. If I look at the pattern in these, for the first one, the convincing the artifact here is I am making tangibly interesting things and sharing them. I am also mindful of who might buy them, these things, share their positive experience. I think this is don't want to be particularly disciplined. So I think this is all about making things. Also, there's a commerce side for the level 3 audiences. So now I'm looking at the these not wants. What's the artifact here? By artifact, I mean a kind of like the nugget, is what the gist is. I don't want to be on time. I don't want to spend all my time working. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to remember a lot of things. I don't want to be particularly disciplined. It's like I don't want to think. I don't want to think about other people, obligations to other people, I guess. Or obligations to myself. But I do want to share what interesting things I've found, be it figured out in terms of process. Okay, so those are the two takeaways right now. I'm going to sit and think about these for a while. I've been streaming now for about 20 minutes, and I think that's long enough. Anything else to add today about this? I guess that's it for now. So, thanks for watching. Not a lot of show and tell for today. Oh, you did see the sous vide thing. I actually am feeling headachy, so I am going to lie down. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be able to get back into the swing of like a regular schedule. And then we'll talk about these artifact things. Although before I go, let me just add something. What kind of process and schedule could meet these needs? That's the $1,000,000 question. And with that, bid you good night. I'm slurring my speech, I'm so sleepy. Nope.